You always hear me say that leaders are readers, and you are the CEO of your life. So it's super important for you to be reading books, because as you read books, you get to grow. And as you grow, you become a better leader of your life. So I want to share a book that I've just recently read. It's called From the Trashman to the Cashman. And this book is by Myron Golden. And this book is very interesting because he shares a lot of wealth creation principles in this book that I think a lot of people need to know. And that's why I decided to do this book review. And a little bit about Myron. Myron Golden was born in a poor family. In fact, he was born in a segregated hospital, and he wasn't given a vaccine, a polio vaccine, and he contracted polio. So he had one leg that was longer than his other leg because he had polio. So he walks with a limp. And, Myron didn't go to college. He wasn't really good in school. And when he finished, school, he was a trash man. So he was really, poor. He was making $6 per hour. But it came to a point in his life where he was like, enough is enough. I need to change my life. I need to figure out how I can make money, because he's driving around picking up trash, seeing all these mansions where other people live, but he's not living the life of his dreams, right? In fact, he talks about a story where his wife was pregnant and his electricity and his water were cut. And in his mind, he's like, hey, I have this beautiful bride, she's expecting, and what the F is going on here, right? I need to change my life. Remember the point I mentioned earlier, you are a leader of your life. So he decided that, hey, I need to change the direction of my life today, and I need to make a change. So in this video, I'm gonna dive a little deeper about those insights that he shares in the book. And obviously, I'm not gonna go into all the details. If you want all the details, guess what you need to do? You need to buy the book. And I have a link below in the description where you can go grab the book. But I'm gonna share with you a key principle that to me was like an aha moment. And I was like, hey, this is too good not to share. So I wanted to create this video so that you guys can learn a little bit about it. But the key point here, though, is that if a person like Myron Golden, who was, born poor, he was born in a segregated area, he didn't even get the medicine he needed when he was a baby, and he didn't get vaccinated, ended up contracting polio. He was a trash man. If he can go from making $6.25 per hour to becoming a multi-millionaire who's impacting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, if he can make it, what about you, my friend? You can make it as well. But the key is you need to understand the wealth creation principles, because life, my friend, is all about principles. If you apply those principles, they will work in your favor. What do I mean? Let's take gravity as an example. It's a law. You throw something up, it's going to come down. Why? Because there's gravity. If you give, what's going to happen? You're going to receive a blessing, because that's just the way it works. So you need to understand all these different principles and apply them in your life if you want to see a change in your life. Now, let's go into the book. So it's a very small book. If you really are a fast reader and you really wanted to block out time in your day, you could probably read this book in a day. And, that's kind of like what I did. I really just sat down. I was taking a long flight to the West Coast. I was flying to California, and I was able to just knock it out. And in the book, there was one principle in chapter 3 that really caught my attention, and that's what I'm going to share with you. So in the window of opportunity, he talks about 4 pains. And then the first one is HAJ, meaning that you have a job. What does that mean? You're working for someone else. You're being paid for your time. So like in his case, when he was a trash man, he was making $6.25 per hour to drive this garbage truck, and he had a job. And the definition of job, J-O-B, is just over broke, right? Because the man who's giving you that job has to make money. So they pay you just enough so that you're slightly over broke and you're motivated enough to wake up again every morning to come and work. And you will never become wealthy by having a job. Look at every millionaire, look at every billionaire. There's no billionaire or millionaire that's making their money by just simply trading their time. They are using other principles to generate the wealth. It could be real estate, it could be other forms of wealth creation tools like investing, but it's not a job. So the first one is have a job. You can use that as a start to kind of like help you get started and get you on that journey, but that shouldn't be your be it end all, right? The next one is OAJ, which is own a job. And with OAJ is, you work for yourself, you have a company, and you're kind of like doing your own thing. But the thing is, you don't really have a team, you don't really have like a support structure underneath you. So what you really do have is you own a job. You might be the CEO of the company or you might be the leader of this company, but in reality, you're just owning a job. So the cool thing is, yes, you might have the freedoms of, managing and having control over your schedule, but you don't really have the flexibility to achieve financial freedom in your life, because if you don't go out there and do the job, you're not making money. So an example is if you're a freelancer and you're kind of like working on your own schedule, you don't have anybody to report to, but you need to still trade your time to make money, you're still in that OAJ window. The next one that he talks about in chapter 3 is OAS, which is you own a system. Now you're starting to make a little bit money, right? You're starting to make money. You can even make millions of dollars by owning a system, right? So think about, let's say, the people who own McDonald's. They own a system, and by owning a system, they don't necessarily need to be there in order for people to order their burgers on the drive-thru and get them delivered, right? Because they own the system, people can come and work within the system, and then they could be out there on the golf course on their yacht and making money. So ultimately what you want to do is you want to own a system, because if you own a system, it can free up your time and you can go out there and do other things, and it's also scalable. So as you're building your business ventures, make sure you systemize your business to the point where you are replaced. So my role as I'm building businesses is I like to bring in talented people, get them to a point where they can manage and drive my business, and they don't really need me to be there. But guess what? I own the system. I'm the business owner. I'm not the operator. So people will be working and generating money for me, and I could be out there working and pursuing other opportunities. So that's the third insight he shares in the book. And then the fourth one that he shares, which I think is probably the ideal place you want to be, and you can actually marry owning a system and this fourth one, is you want to sow money seeds, SMS, right? So what this means is that you can invest your money and then let your money work for you. So you can invest it in stock, you can invest it in real estate, or in other financial vehicles. So now you have these little money soldiers that are out there that are working on your behalf, right? While you're out there doing something else. So if you really think about it, the richest of the rich, what they do is they don't trade their time for money. They're actually investing their money to make more money. Buying stocks, buying options, buying real estate, and doing all these different things. So as you start generating income from your job or your side hustle or whatever, what you want to start doing is you want to make sure you keep a portion of that money and put it into vehicles where you can grow that money. Because if you're sowing money seeds and having that money generate wealth for you, that's the quickest path to success. Because if, let's say, overnight you invest $1,000 and the stock goes up by 100% and now you have another 1,000, you've literally made another $1,000 without you physically being involved in that action. And that's what wealthy people do in order to make money. So I know I've just shared, one interesting principle that's shared in the book. There are many more principles shared in this book, but what I don't want to do is just kind of like regurgitate all of them, because this video will be like an hour long. What I wanted to do was share a little bit of a sneak peek and just give you insight to this book, but the link to grab the book is below. So go grab yourself a copy, read the book. Trust me, it will change you. It changed me to the point that I now actually work with Myron one-on-one in one of his programs as a mentee. So Myron Golden is now my mentor. So I'm really blessed to be in that position. And I would love you to also get the information that he shares in this book and also start learning from Myron Golden. So, stay blessed. Make sure you apply what I've just shared. New information results into new manifestations only if you apply action. So make sure you take action on the information that I've shared with you so that you can manifest new realities in your life. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Upwards and onwards.